We're just going live from the current location to discuss some topics despite how my hair is styled at this present moment and the garments that I am donning right now. This is not what it looks like. This is not the color of my eyes. So while out for a venture today, if that's the best way to say that, I found this luggage here that I have to clean off the handle with some hand sanitizer. So this is the bag. Although there's an odor of mold, not mildew, and dog feces that would seem almost dewy or moldy. This is the brand Timberland, so I'll stand up to show this. Those are the wheels, and at the front, there's a piece of plastic that's supposed to assist the bag to stand perpendicular to the horizontal ground. This is a little bit different than the rolling luggage that I have right now. This is more of a rectangle. That's a rectangle square. So I have my stuff stacked here. Show where I have stacked here. Pick up my laptop and keep the laptop propped in my hand. But this is what I have stacked here. So this luggage here is thinner in a way that might be more helpful as far as the engineering or body mechanics of lugging stuff around. But I wouldn't say lugging stuff around because it almost presents a negative connotation in context. There's no way around making sure that there are certain essential items available to me at all times, although there is the risk of this stuff being stolen at any point in time, which is a very tough way to live and is not right. Is very, very wrong for many reasons and also because of who I am. So while this, as far as like the real life on the luggage that I'm using right now, the size of the luggage, the mechanics of the luggage, this is another very violent way that people try to hurt me in a very direct and insidious way through a matter of time, course of time, trying to torture me. So the textiles used for these wheels versus this wheel, like a rubber coating on a metal or plastic wheel, whether it's the hinge that holds and locks the wheel. And typically what happens is these rolling luggages only have a certain amount of lifespan where they're only supposed to be used for travel to and from an airport or to pack and put in a car and drive a car somewhere and then unload from the car. So these wheels, this luggage overall is lighter, which means if I load more and how I'm turning the bag with these wheels that are more plastic last longer versus a rubber coating. If I'm traveling over construction sites, there's been an increase in the streets being torn up since I've been here. So that's the reality of the commitment to hurting me. I don't want our stuff smelling like mold. And if there's inclement weather, we had initially went with a hard shell luggage. We had money available to us, even though it was a very bad design. An illegal download of one of our designs that no one got consent to put into distribution, and then was not the way that we would have put into mass production had we been contacted. So we always have every and any example of a design, but as far as what we would optimize, that was not the version that we would have optimized to put into production. So yeah, the choice of textiles, catching light, angles, all of that, there's a process to gaining the most optimal perspective of that, if that's the question. So this just keeps getting more and more bizarre, to be very honest. Not because there's no vested interest, not solely just because there's no vested interest in understanding strangers, which is completely normal and healthy. There's no relevance to our life, and I found for me, honestly, that's the biggest issue, is that for whatever reason, so many people that are pathetic, that will never be relevant to our lives, whether or not they're recruited or they volunteer, they constantly are trying to stay relevant. And I wonder if we're in agreement, me and my husband, that was the most respectful way to discuss the challenges, because we would not make an assumption about any stranger. Although our boundaries are to be intact at all times as far as stranger boundaries and social etiquette, which people that are strangers keep trying to make absolutely impossible because they believe, for whatever dysfunctional reason, it's not based in reality, that they have the right to violently violate me in any and every way possible. And they do not have the right, and the consequences will be severe. So I'm not confident that this luggage that I acquired today by accident, completely randomly, I'm not confident that that's the best choice. But this luggage that I found and acquired and swapped with the luggage that we had purchased says High Sierra, like that's the name of the brand. So the next topic is Chris McGill, or McGill, because Liz McGill is a biological family. Unless, I don't know, I haven't seen proof of DNA testing. But Chris McGill, McGill, is a problem. And I am not his daughter. He has a daughter named Sierra with a woman named Loretta. I'm not her. And she'll never be me, and I'll never be her. So this is really disgraceful and petty that I can't lower my standards for me, my husband, and our family as far as cleanliness and infection control. But the level of immaturity and hostility and resentment and contempt is never not consistent. I don't even know how these people get our information, because we have not publicly debuted. So we're not considered celebrities. No one knows how I look, but all the wrong people seem to know how I look. I can't even see myself. I can't even appropriately debut myself to the public, and I would never debut to the public without my husband. So this is just disgraceful. I don't have anything productive or positive to say. But as far as maintaining boundaries, as far as where I'm able to rest, the luggage that I have right now that has been for less than 6-ish or 7 weeks seems to fit where I've been able to rest the past few days, and seems to be a little bit cleaner than this luggage that I accidentally acquired today. So this is just not an optimal situation at all. And I've said this before. The strangers, the people that try to hurt me, do this to me they create these kinds of situations every time. They put stuff that we would never pick, ever, as our only option. So we work within the parameters of what's presented, but this is not enough. This is not enough. This is not functional. This is not optimal. This reeks dysfunction, disgusting, bizarre, not worth our time. We never chagrin a kind gesture of hospitality or even charity, considering the situation. But we always ensure that we get some sort of receipt to repay and return, because when we are different. So we don't expect people to help us, but I don't want people to misinterpret. I don't want people to misinterpret that the boundaries have to stay very rigid. So I don't really know what my choice will be as far as whether or not to swap the luggage. I know that this luggage, the High Sierra luggage, is a bad design. It's a good design, it's incredible, a really awesome, probably expensive suitcase and luggage, and I am forever thankful and grateful. This has been a huge, huge help. But is not big enough in a practical way for transporting everything that I have with me. That's kind of like an essential item, and just remaining as prepared as I can be right now, because of the situation that I've been forced into. But because of this design, even though the bottom of the luggage seems to be damaged, even though not a gaping hole, how long would this luggage last versus the one that I have? I am concerned about the wheels on this, the integrity of the rubber on the wheels or the textile. I don't want to say rubber because people are perverted. The integrity of the wheel, I don't know, to be very honest. It's just, we don't promote that orange is the new black, and we believe that people abuse the yellow context. So this is problematic. We don't believe that that's effective. That's the product of illegal downloading and stealing. So we don't promote problematic, non-effective communication standards. It would be too offensive. So I don't really know. And then the perversion of the tree, the emblem for Timberland, I don't want this. So this is, if the intent was to be helpful, we are incredibly thankful. We don't assume ever that that's the situation. We just have to be realistic about our situation. So I think I'm just going to put this back. I'm going to put this back in the trash can. But I suppose this was still necessary. Okay. Thank you.